Dear friends, welcome to Impressive Learning English. I'm so happy to have you here today because we're going to talk about something truly powerful. How to speak like a leader. Think about it. Have you ever listened to someone who didn't just speak words but spoke in a way that inspired, motivated, and moved people into action? That's the magic of leadership communication. Leaders don't just talk. They influence, guide, and build confidence in others through their words. The truth is, leadership is not only about position or title, it's about the way you express yourself and the impact you create with your voice. In this lesson, I'll share 6 simple but powerful steps that will help you transform the way you speak so that people listen, respect, and follow you. So stay with me till the end, because by the time we finish, you'll be ready to practice speaking with the power, confidence, and clarity of a true leader. Step 1. Speak with confidence and clarity. When it comes to speaking like a leader, the very first step is to build confidence and clarity in your speech. Think about it. If you don't believe in your own words, why should anyone else? Confidence doesn't mean shouting or trying to dominate others. It means speaking with calm strength, steady tone, and clear purpose. A leader's voice carries weight because it is firm and sure, not shaky or uncertain. That's why you need to work on your body language, eye contact, and tone of voice. Stand tall, keep your shoulders straight, and maintain good posture when you speak. Look directly at your audience instead of looking down or away. This shows that you trust yourself and you're serious about your message. Clarity is just as important as confidence. Leaders never confuse people with too many complicated words. Instead, they keep their message simple, focused, and easy to follow. For example, if you're giving instructions, break them into short, clear sentences so everyone can understand. Use pauses to let your message sink in, rather than rushing through your words. Remember, clarity makes people trust you, because they know exactly what you mean. Another key point is avoiding filler words like you know, or like. These weaken your message and make you sound unsure. Instead, pause for a second and continue with strength. Practicing in front of a mirror or recording your voice can help you notice where you sound less clear or less confident. Finally, leaders always balance confidence with respect. Speak with authority, but also with warmth. People should feel inspired, not scared. When your voice combines confidence, clarity, and kindness, your words gain power. This is how you begin to sound like a leader, someone people trust, admire, and want to follow. Step 2. Develop active listening skills. A true leader is not only a great speaker, but also an excellent listener. Many people think that leadership is all about giving speeches and directing others. But, in reality, one of the strongest qualities of a leader is the ability to listen actively. When you listen carefully, you gain the trust of people, understand their needs, and make them feel valued. Speaking without listening makes communication one-sided, but leaders create two-way conversations that build respect and connection. Active listening means more than just hearing the words someone says. It means paying full attention, noticing emotions, and responding in a thoughtful way. For example, when someone is sharing an idea, a leader doesn't interrupt or look distracted. Instead, they maintain eye contact, nod to show understanding, and sometimes repeat the key points to confirm they understood correctly. This simple act makes people feel respected and motivates them to contribute more. Leaders also ask powerful questions. Instead of just listening passively, they encourage others to share more by saying things like, "Can you explain more about that?" Or, "What do you think would work best?" Questions show genuine interest and make people feel like their opinions matter. When followers feel heard, they become more loyal and open to guidance. Another important part of active listening is controlling your reaction. Sometimes leaders hear things they don't like, such as criticism or disagreement. A weak communicator may become defensive, but a strong leader stays calm, listens carefully, and responds with respect. This shows maturity and earns admiration from others. Listening also helps leaders make better decisions. When you take time to understand all sides of an issue, your response becomes wiser and more effective. People will recognize you as fair, thoughtful, and balanced, qualities every great leader needs. So remember, leadership is not about talking the most, but about making others feel heard. When you combine confident speaking with active listening, you build stronger relationships and a deeper level of trust. This step transforms your communication into real leadership. Step 3. Use the power of storytelling. One of the most powerful ways leaders communicate is through stories. People may forget statistics, rules, or long explanations, but they rarely forget a good story. A leader who knows how to use storytelling can inspire hope, teach lessons, and motivate people into action. Think about famous speeches in history. Many of them were powerful because they were filled with stories and real-life examples, not just dry information. When you tell a story, you connect with people's hearts, not just their minds. For example, instead of simply saying, "Hard work leads to success," a leader might share a personal story about the struggles they faced before reaching success. That story paints a clear picture and makes the lesson more believable and memorable. Listeners don't just hear the message, they feel it. A great leadership story usually follows a simple pattern: challenge, action, and result. First, describe a challenge or problem, something that feels real and relatable. Then, explain the actions taken to overcome it. Finally, share the result or the lesson learned. This structure makes the message clear and inspiring. For instance, a leader might say, "When I first started my career, I faced rejection after rejection. But instead of giving up, I worked harder, improved my skills, and eventually landed the opportunity that changed my life." Such a story encourages people to keep going, even when life feels tough. Storytelling also helps simplify complex ideas. Leaders often deal with big concepts like vision, teamwork, or change. Instead of using confusing language, they wrap the idea inside a story. A story acts like a bridge between the leader and the audience, making difficult ideas easy to understand. Another important part of storytelling is emotion. A leader doesn't just share facts, they add feelings, hope, determination, courage, or even humor. Emotion makes the audience pay attention and stay engaged. It also makes the leader more relatable, because people see them as human, not just as a distant authority figure. But remember, stories should always have a purpose. A leader doesn't tell random stories. Every story carries a lesson, value, or vision. Whether it's to motivate a team, explain a goal, or inspire confidence, the story must connect to the bigger message. So, if you want to speak like a leader, practice the art of storytelling. Share your experiences, lessons, and struggles in a way that teaches and inspires others. Your words will stick longer in people's minds and hearts, and that's what makes leadership communication truly powerful. Step 4. Master the art of persuasion. Great leaders don't just share ideas. They move people to believe in those ideas and take action. This is where persuasion becomes a key skill. Speaking like a leader means you have the ability to influence minds, inspire hearts, and guide people toward a vision. Without persuasion, words remain just words, but with it, words become a driving force for change. Persuasion is not about manipulation or forcing others to agree. Instead, it's about presenting your message in a way that feels logical, emotional, and trustworthy. A leader combines all three. First, they use logic, facts, examples, and clear reasoning that makes sense. Second, they connect emotionally by showing passion, empathy, or shared values. Third, they build credibility by being honest, consistent, and authentic. When all three come together, people feel motivated to listen and follow. One simple strategy leaders use is to highlight benefits, not just instructions. For example, instead of saying, "You must work harder," a persuasive leader might say, "If we give our best effort, we can achieve success that will make all of us proud." Notice how the second version not only gives direction, but also explains the positive outcome and appeals to pride. This makes people more willing to act. Leaders also use repetition to strengthen their message. When an important point is repeated in different ways, it becomes more memorable and powerful. Think of famous speeches. Leaders often repeat key phrases so that the audience cannot forget the core message. Tone and body language also play a huge role in persuasion. A leader's words may be strong, but if the tone sounds weak or the body language looks nervous, the message loses its impact. That's why persuasive communication requires steady eye contact, controlled gestures, and a confident yet warm tone of voice. People are more likely to follow someone who looks and sounds certain. Another effective persuasive technique is storytelling, as discussed earlier. But here it serves a specific purpose, to show proof that your idea works. Sharing real-life success stories or examples makes your message more convincing because people see evidence, not just theory. Finally, persuasion also means respecting the audience's freedom to choose. Great leaders never force, they inspire. They speak in a way that allows people to feel the decision is theirs. This respectful approach creates long-lasting influence because people follow out of belief, not pressure. So, to speak like a leader, practice persuasive communication. Use logic, emotion, and credibility. Highlight benefits, repeat key ideas, and speak with confidence. When you master persuasion, your words will no longer just be heard. They will inspire action and loyalty. Step 5. Practice emotional intelligence. A true leader understands that communication is not only about words, it's also about emotions. Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions, while also perceiving and responding effectively to the emotions of others. Leaders who master emotional intelligence can speak in a way that resonates deeply, builds trust, and strengthens relationships. Without EQ, even the most confident or persuasive words can fall flat. The first part of emotional intelligence is self-awareness. A leader must know how their words and tone affect others. For example, if you're feeling frustrated or stressed, it's easy for your voice to become sharp or impatient. A self-aware leader notices this and adjusts their approach, speaking calmly and thoughtfully instead. This helps prevent misunderstandings and keeps conversations productive. Next is self-regulation, managing your emotions rather than letting them control you. Leaders often face tense situations, criticism, or disagreement. Instead of reacting impulsively, they pause, think, and respond in a composed manner. This shows maturity and earns respect from others because people trust leaders who stay level-headed under pressure. Empathy is another crucial component. Great leaders listen and respond to the feelings of others. When someone is struggling, instead of simply giving orders, a leader might say, "I understand this is challenging, and I'm here to support you." Recognizing and validating emotions makes people feel valued and understood. This emotional connection motivates teams to work harder and follow willingly. Social skills are the final piece. Leaders with high emotional intelligence communicate in ways that foster collaboration, resolve conflicts, and inspire loyalty. They know how to adjust their message depending on the audience, whether it's a team meeting, a one-on-one conversation, or a large presentation. By observing reactions and adapting their approach, leaders ensure their message is received positively. Emotional intelligence also helps leaders deliver difficult messages. Constructive criticism, feedback, or guidance is inevitable. But leaders with EQ frame these conversations carefully. They focus on solutions rather than blame, and they maintain respect and encouragement throughout. This ensures people remain motivated, even when facing challenges. Incorporating emotional intelligence into your communication transforms the way people perceive you. When your words are paired with empathy, self-control, and social awareness, you don't just convey information, you create connection, inspire confidence, and build influence. Speaking like a leader is not only about the content of your message, but also about the emotional impact it carries. Step 6. Practice consistency and authenticity. The final step to speaking like a leader is to be both consistent and authentic. A leader's words gain power when people know they can trust what is being said. Consistency means your message, actions, and values align over time. When you communicate in a predictable and reliable manner, people feel secure following you because they know what to expect. Inconsistent communication, saying one thing and doing another, quickly breaks trust and weakens leadership. Authenticity is equally important. People naturally gravitate toward leaders who are genuine, honest, and transparent. Trying to imitate someone else's style or pretending to be perfect can make your words feel hollow. Instead, speak from your own experiences, beliefs, and values. When your audience senses that you are being real, your message becomes more relatable and influential. For example, sharing a personal challenge you overcame or admitting a mistake demonstrates courage and humility, qualities that make leaders human and inspiring. Consistency also applies to your communication style. Use clear language, maintain steady tone, and reinforce your key messages regularly. Over time, this repetition builds credibility. People begin to associate your words with reliability and trustworthiness, which strengthens your influence as a leader. Being authentic doesn't mean oversharing or losing professionalism. It means aligning your words with your true self. Speak with honesty, express your passion sincerely, and show that your intentions are genuine. Leaders who master authenticity inspire loyalty because followers believe not just in what they say, but in who they are. Another critical aspect is consistency in action. A leader's speech is only powerful if backed by deeds. If you promise something, make sure to follow through. Your words carry authority because people witness your commitment and integrity. This combination of action and authentic communication reinforces your leadership presence. Finally, practice makes perfect. Consistency and authenticity develop over time. Pay attention to your language, tone, and delivery every day. Reflect on feedback from others, and continuously refine your communication. The more you practice speaking with honesty, clarity, and alignment with your values, the more natural it becomes, and the stronger your leadership voice will grow. By combining consistency and authenticity with all the previous steps, confidence, active listening, storytelling, persuasion, and emotional intelligence, you create a powerful communication style. This is the voice of a true leader, one that inspires, motivates, and leaves a lasting impact. Final words. Congratulations. You now know the 6 powerful steps to speak like a leader: confidence, active listening, storytelling, persuasion, emotional intelligence, and consistency with authenticity. Remember, leadership is not about your title. It's about the impact of your words and the trust you build. Practice these steps daily, and over time your voice will naturally inspire, motivate, and guide others. If you found this lesson helpful, don't forget to subscribe to Impressive Learning English for more tips that will transform your English and communication skills. Comment below which step you're going to practice first. I'd love to hear from you. Keep learning, keep speaking, and become the leader you were meant to be.